Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. I'm gonna be honest. This is. I've lost count of how many times I've actually had to sit there and redo this video. Mostly because I was pissed off, and I'm still mad, but I think I've actually calmed down. It only took me about 8 to 10 times to sit there doing this video for me to actually calm down. But I think I'm in a much better place. So I'm gonna leave the part that actually pissed me off last. Take a wild guess while I'm doing this review about what part pissed me off, what character said it. Just take a wild guess. So let's talk about Alexis and Sam for a minute. So they're out to dinner, and they're pretty much celebrating Alexis' new job and everything like that. And Ned comes over. Ned is there to sit there and tell them both about Luke. And the accent that happened, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of was just like rolling my eyes and looking at my phone and being like, all right, when is this gonna be over? Because I've already talked about this to death, but I'm not buying it, and I just don't care. But at some point, Tracy comes over. This is before they was not there talk. They was not there talking. Well, Sam and Alexis not there talking about Tracy and how she pretty much kind of evaded the law. you know, got her stuck in that situation and was just like, all right, bye, well, whatever, and just kind of skipped town. So the whole time, they're sitting there talking like, yo, like, your mom is pretty much a wanted fugitive. Like, she's on a lam. And practically the fact that she had the audacity to sit there and show her face back in Port Charles like everything's all fine is, like, upsetting to say the least. But then Tracy walks in, and here's the thing, I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of forgot that Tracy was on a run. Um, that she was on a run, and that the minute that she steps back in Port Charles, she could be arrested at any point in time. I totally forgot about that. And so she comes in there, and she has words with Alexis, and they're going back and forth, and you know it gets to a point where after they finish going back and forth, Ned is about to sit there and tell Tracy's about to sit there and tell Ned about the whole, Bailey not being Bailey and it's really Luis and, it's Maxie Baby and everything like that. But Sam calls Dante and is like, yo, I need you to come over and start handling some business. And so Dante gets there and he arrests Tracy. And I'm not going to lie, when when Dante walks over, Tracy's like, yeah, 1 minute. I'm like, Tracy, did you forget that when you left Port Charles that you had a warrant for your arrest? And Dante is a cop. Did that just like go out the window? I don't understand how you just forgot that. And it's something that's funny that Alexis said about privilege. She just got in a private jet. She's like, whatever, screw the law. I don't got time for that. And just kind of just left. And the fact that she turned around, looked at Dante, was like, hey, 1 minute. I'm handling some family business right now. So anyway, it's like, really? Wow, Tracy. Okay, so he arrests her. And she's like, for what? She's like, what do you, like, she was surprised. She was literally surprised, like, what are you doing? What is he? I, I'm not gonna lie, that part actually made me laugh. That part actually made me laugh. And just thinking about that right now just kind of calms me down a little bit. The fact that she was like, what are you doing? So yeah, what do you think he's doing? So while that's going on, you got Brando, Sasha, and Gladys also at the Metro Court, and they're hugging and everything. Well, let me start the story again. So Gladys and Brando met up at the Metro Court or whatever. And, Gladys was like, I want to give you a space or whatever. I tried to not really call so many times, but, Brando was like, yeah, he still kept calling a couple of times. Um, so, she's seeing how he's doing and everything like that. And, Sasha comes in. And Sasha's like, I'm ready to go back to work. One second. Sasha's like, I'm ready to go back to work. Since she was like, he's back at the garage or whatever. She's tired just like kind of, staying in her apartment and being stuck at the four walls. What the hell? Um, and just kind of staring at the, four walls, just, wallowing in her feelings. And, so she's like, I'm going to be going back to work. So she leaves, and the only thing that really happens between Gladys and Brando is that Gladys is just there for Brando, just making sure he's okay and just kind of just being somebody to, vent to. It was actually kind of nice. It was a very human side to her. And, this is where I asked a question before, you know, and I don't exactly remember what kind of question I asked, but it was something along the lines of, do you think that Gladys is going to go back to being Gladys, or is she going to be more mellow and stuff like that? Or what do people want to see Gladys do moving forward? Like, do you want to see this version of Gladys, or do you want to see the version of Gladys that just what annoys everyone pretty much every time that she enters the room? And the reason why I'm saying that is because we're seeing a different side of Gladys. She's not, crapping on Sasha or talk behind her back or anything like that. I mean, yeah, she kind of forgot, like, when she was talking to Brando about his feelings and how he was doing. Um, kind of forgot to mention like how Sasha was doing. But she's not at Sasha's throat. She's not snitching trying to make it seem like Sasha isn't good for him anymore. So I want to know everyone's opinion on this new Gladys. Do you like this new Gladys? Do you not like this new Gladys? What are your thoughts in the comment section below? So Brooklyn is letting Maxie know that Tracy knows that Bailey is really Louise. She doesn't know exactly how, but she knows. So at this point, there's really nothing that they can really do. And Max is just like, all right, the best we can sit there and do is just kind of call her bluff because she's kind of a wild card. But I'm sitting there thinking, when Maxie was like, she'll sit there and do anything to get ahead or whatever. It's like, well, what does she have to gain from this? And as bad as Tracy is, if Tracy knew the circumstances, I don't think that she would just, blab, Bailey, Louis' secret to everyone. So I personally think the best thing that you could probably do is to let Tracy in on it. Now, this whole secret thing is really starting to unravel. Like, how many people know so far? Nina knows, I think. Um, Chase knows. I feel like I'm leaving someone out. I feel like somebody else knows. But now Tracy knows. And whatever this whole secret is just spiraling out of control so fast. But anyway, they attend a meeting to deception, and Lucy's there, and they're talking about the unraveling, and bringing the company to the public or whatever. And Sasha comes in there, and they all have that look like you kind of back too soon, but she wants to get back into the swing of things and kind of just not get her mind off of it, but not really have something to do to kind of just keep her mind occupied. So they're kind of hesitant, but they're like, all right, whatever, like, let's get it done. But, Brooklyn brings Bailey to work. And I guess one of the daycare workers or whatever bring Bailey into the office. And at that point, like, it was just this awkward. It was just something that just made everyone feel uncomfortable. Hell, I felt uncomfortable. Um, when Sasha was sitting there talking to to Bailey. But after that, she turns around and she tries to just walk it off for a little bit. And this is something that Gladys was sitting there saying, like, just because you think that Sasha is okay doesn't mean that she is. Like, you don't just carry a child for 9 months and lose that child and just think that everything's just going to go back to normal, like, right away. So, as she's talking, you can hear it in her voice that's, it's kind of cracking up a little bit. She goes in the bathroom. Now, I'm sitting there thinking, I honestly tell you the truth, I think everyone was sitting there thinking the same thing. It was that she was going to start trying to, start using again to, you know, get through the day, get through the shift or whatever, and just kind of get through, go, well, get through like the event or whatever. But she doesn't. She just reaches in her purse, put on a lipstick, and goes back out there and just kind of just keeps it moving. So I was actually kind of surprised. And I'm wondering, was there supposed to be a different outcome? And just like at the last minute, they were like, "I, we can't do this." Because I feel like for some odd reason, there was supposed to be a different outcome to that. I don't know. It's just me as I'm sitting there thinking about this now. So let's talk about Ava and Nina. So Ava comes in there and she's happy for Nina that, she beat the charges and everything like that. And she's a free woman. So, she's happy about that. And then she wants to know what went down in the courtroom. So Nina fills her in on everything about um, the Willow testimony and everything like that. And, the courtroom scene and just all of it. So Ava's just sitting there just relishing in that. Particularly Carly, because they just go back and forth. Um, so after that is done, you talk about Sunny and everything like that, and this whole conversation, and it's weird because it's like Ava and Nina, Dante and Sunny, and Carly and Olivia are essentially talking about the same thing, just different perspectives. Nina's not there talking about her feelings. Well, Ava's not there talking about like what is Nina's feelings for Sunny and her just reconciling with that. And on the other side of town, you got Dante and Sunny. And Dante and Sunny's not there talking about his feelings for um Carly and how his feelings for Nina is like, kind of in the past. And there's something that he said. When Dante found out that Nina was the one that dropped him off, and hearing about her leave, Dante was like, "Did you want Nina to leave?" And Sunny was like, "A part of me did. The Mike part of me wanted Nina to stay." And I'm sitting there looking at that, just hearing that. I'm like, this is the problem that Sunny had since the beginning. Since he came back, there's this him being afraid to admit his feelings for Nina, which is why he's in this predicament in the first place. And throughout his conversation with Dante, he still is refusing to acknowledge that he has feelings for um, Nina. He talks about how he just wants to be with Carly, he's in love with Carly, and the whole stuff with Nina was kind of just in the past, and it was kind of just like a fictional world. And he does his best to sit there and try to convince Dante, which I don't even think that Dante was buying it. But Dante was like, listen, at the end of the day, you need to sit there and tell her. You need to sit there and talk to your wife. Um, and of course, Sonny was like, I'm not ready. Like, I don't think that Carly's ready yet. But, Dante's like, you can't do this. Because at this point, he's making excuses. Yeah, Carly wasn't ready to hear it that night. But it's been like about, I don't know how long it's been, but um, Dante's like, you need to sit there and talk to him. You need to sit there and talk this out. So towards the end of the episode, he goes back to the house. and Olivia's there, and he sees Carly, and he seems like he's about ready to sit there and have this conversation. Now the question is he going to be honest? This is something that Olivia was not just saying also, because Carly is mad at the fact that Sonny has feelings, or is in love, or was in love, or whatever, with Nina. But Olivia points out that at one point you were in love with Jason. Not to sit there and like kind of bag on her like they're on the same level, because let's be honest, Carly was honest with her feelings for Sonny. I mean, with her feelings for Jason. Soon right after he got back. So it's not about that, but it's one of those things where it's like, if he can sit there and try to get past the fact that you were in love with Jason at one point in time, then you should sit there and try to work it out as far as your feelings go. As far as you being upset with Sonny being in love with Nina. And that is what I took from Olivia. Now there's a reason why this video is actually coming out as late as it is. It's coming out as late as it is because Olivia says something that still pisses me off. And I'm a lot calmer now, but earlier I had to do this video about 5 times because each time I was so angry. So Olivia actually had the audacity, or the show, let's be honest, had the audacity that had Olivia sit there and say that all men are dogs. Now, and it still pissed me off. Now, before I got upset when Brooklyn said the whole mansplaining thing, because I felt like that was a sexist comment. And I know some people kind of didn't sit there and see it that way, but I did. As bad as that comment was, and it was still bad, what Olivia said was 10 times worse. And I'm not going to sit there and get into this whole, if it was the reverse, yada, 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 blah, 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 because I'm just going to get more, even more angrier. But it was one of those things where it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, at this point, we're not even sitting there trying to. And granted, Olivia said it in a way where it's like it was kind of joking, like, oh, well, it's just how it is. Like, no, sweetheart, it's not. And it also pissed me off because it was one of those things where it's like, damn it, Olivia, just when, like, in my views, just when I felt like she got out the doghouse, like, just when I felt like we were at a point where okay, like, because she pissed me off throughout that whole time with Leo and everything like that, but then she calmed down, she realized her mistakes, she apologized to a lot of people, and I was like, you know what, listen, that's character growth, and she was coming to terms with something that was difficult for any parent to sit there and hear. So I was like, you know what, as mad as I was about the way she was not there treating people, I was like, you know what, I don't have children, and I can't sit there and comment on her state of mind or being like, you're out of line, this, that, and the third. Like, I can have my feelings, but I'm not in the position where her or any other parent is. So I had to sit there and be like, you know what, I respect you for coming to terms with it and being mature about it. And then in today's episode, it just went right out the window. It was just like, well, there goes that. So that happened. And I'm still. And honestly, to tell you the truth, that's another thing. That's the reason why I actually put that segment last, because it just, I'm gonna be honest, it actually just took me out the whole thing. It literally took me out the whole episode. I think that's about it. I really do. But to be honest, like I said, that comment actually just took me out the whole episode. Like, it literally took me out the whole episode. Like, after she said that, I was literally just like in my chair, like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Feel like I should be writing some of this stuff down, but I just, to be honest, I really just don't care. Like, I really didn't. Um, so I really felt like I missed a lot of stuff because I just was so pissed off, and I just really didn't care after that point. And I did this review 5 times, which is another reason why I feel like I probably forgot some stuff. So I apologize if I did, because I really want to sit there and try to do like a really good job on doing this review, which is why I did it about 5 times. And I'm gonna be honest, I think this is the best one out of the 5. So, I want to thank you all for watching. Be safe. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section below. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna sit there and watch a little bit of Brock TV's review. I am, and I really gotta see how you got through that. I really gotta see how you got through this episode. Like, this one literally pissed me off. This remind me. Actually, tell you the truth, no. This was actually worse. Like the first review that I did, I was super angry. Hell, I don't even know if I even want to call it a review. I think I just was ranting because I was ranting because I watched the episode and I went on Brock TV's video and I wrote something in anger, thinking that that was just gonna like make me feel a little bit better. And I was like, no, I'm still angry. So I took out my phone and I was thinking about, like I've never did like videos and stuff like that before. I was like, it can't be that hard. And also, I actually dumped out a lot of stuff from my phone, so I was able to actually record stuff. And I just did this 15-minute, maybe 10-minute video. I couldn't even tell at the time. I was so angry. And I felt a lot better. I don't feel a lot better right now, but I felt a lot better before. But I just remember that feeling, just me being so angry. And I'm like, this is actually even worse. Because at least with Nina, acting like Nina at the time, I mean, yeah, I was pissed off, but I was like, she was just being a terrible character, you know? Up until the point, I vividly remember Michelle Stanford writing someone on Twitter about how she didn't like doing that scene or she felt some sort of way about doing that scene. This was worse because this was just blatant sexism. Um, and again, I'm not going to really try to do a comparison back and forth. Point is, it was just. Anyway, enough me standing in space and me rambling for a good 3 minutes. So with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank everyone for watching. Be safe. Let me know your thoughts are in the comment section below. My goodness, this pissed me off. And I will see you in the next video.